Jackie Cation, Laurie Kilmartin. Jackie Cation, Laurie Kilmartin. It's the Jackie and Laurie Show. The Jackie and Laurie Show. It's the Jackie and Laurie Show. The Jackie and Laurie Show.
Hi. It's the Maximum
Fun Drive.
Let's start again. Let's try to read it as droney as possible.
Okay.
Hi. It's the Max Fun Drive. As you know, we joined Maximum Fun earlier this year. Max Fun is a listener-supported network. The Max Fun Drive is the one time a year we ask listeners to pledge their support to our show. It's also a huge celebration of all things Maximum Fun. We'll talk more about the Max Fun Drive later, but for now, here's our show.
Was that fun for you?
Oh my God.
You're like, let's do it together. And I was like, I pictured something else. Hello, Laurie Kilmartin.
Hello, Jacqueline.
Cation.
Altercation.
Altercation.
I don't know who. I forget who came up.
Who came up.
You got to
with
give Twitter credit to somebody, but
It's
altercation
a was funny.
I have been obsessed with I was a little obsessed with my situation last week, so I feel like I gave yours the full treatment. that when you see a superhero movie that night, you become an actual superhero.
In the best, if we look at it in the best light, yes. But if we look at it in sort of as I'm a sober adult with some tools talking to a drunk 28-year-old without any tools, But
who is a tool?
Who is a giant fucking tool. I could have run out through the boas, through the feather boas and the hats. I realized that. So Barbara called me on Monday morning.
Right.
And she was like, these are the things we should have done. And I said, okay, these are the things I should have done. And she said, oh, good. Well, at least we all know that we all could have done this better. And then she goes, do you still want your weekend? You still willing to do your weekend at the end of the month? And I said, yes. Are you still willing to have me? And she goes, oh, my God, we still booked Jimmy Dory, threw a glass of wine at a woman in the front row. And I was like, oh, my God, I know. And he's told that story, which is why I don't have any
What did
problem.
she do? This is the only time where I am happy to blame the woman. If a comic has to do something physical on stage, I'm like,
I don't remember what
the audience
she did,
member started
but
it. I know it.
Jimmy was just mad. She obviously triggered him in some way, and then he just threw a glass of wine at her.
Okay.
And then with the Gary Gulman wrestle. And then the weird thing is I think it was before the altercation. Hello. I had just recorded The Dork Forest with Augie Smith, and Augie's dorkdom was road stories of dead comedians.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was. They had to be dead, and we barely scratched the surface. He told like a Mitch Hedberg story. He told a great Brody story. Yeah, and he told a guy named Uncle Dirty.
Oh, I worked with Uncle Dirty in Atlantic City. Is he dead?
Yeah, he's dead. How about Floyd?
Yeah.
And
his name was Floyd, wasn't it?
No. A different guy that's dead named Floyd.
But his name, Floyd Dirty, it's not it.
No, it wasn't Floyd Dirty.
I'm telling you, Uncle Dirty's name is Floyd.
Oh, because he told me that when you were sitting around with Uncle Dirty, you would go, hey, Dirt, you want to go out to lunch? You would literally call him Dirty.
Listen, I did not sit around with Uncle Dirty. Again, I have a different road life than Augie or any male comic. I don't hang out
ways.
with Uncle Dirty.
And then he kind of ran. He didn't run out because there's no way. Like this, we've only scratched the surface. This could be its own series.
Maybe there's only scratches available on that surface.
No.
Maybe that metaphor means there's not many stories.
No, I've hung out with Augie Smith, and he's always got the best stories, which is why I insisted he do the Dork Forest.
Okay.
And then, of course, at the end of it, where we kind of ran out, and I said, well, then you got to tell me a story of someone who should be dead. And so he told me a Doug Stanhope story where Doug jumped into his arms, wrapped his legs around him, and started making out with him at some party in the 90s, and nobody noticed. And Doug comes up for air and says, do we have to keep doing this till someone cares? And Augie's like, I don't know, maybe. And so they start kissing again. And then finally someone goes, look at that. And they're like, oh, thank God.
Jackie, you know how much I love when you tell on this podcast stories from your other podcast.
Well, it was comedy related. So I didn't tell you about Gary Anthony Williams and his love of birds.
Stop. Would you please see a silent movie and see how that affects you?
I don't see silent movies. It's the wacky music gets to me. So you went up tonight.
I did. I was at Crane's downtown, and this is a big day for this house. My house?
What's going on?
My son's longtime babysitter.
Oh, that's right.
/ nanny.
Yeah.
But I don't like to use nanny. She has to move due to a family situation. And so today was her last day. And she's been with us since he was 4.
Right.
And
8 years.
Now, I immediately ceded all homework to her. I was like, hallelujah.
Right.
I don't want to, first of all, I don't want to do math, and I don't want to do it in Spanish.
Right.
Which is what his first 3 years were at an immersion school. And then I just sort of was like, that's her department, And now it's slowly becoming my department.
Yeah, it is.
And it's horrific.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I'm in, he was supposed to stay
Darlene
after.
Westgore used to have a bit about how her kids were doing math, and she's like, I couldn't do it when I was.
Yeah.
I can't do it. She's like, the punchline was something like, your dad is a musician, I'm a comic, you're a waiter, honey. You're not going to need this. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, my kid snuck a calculator into a math test. So,
has he been expelled or just suspended?
Well, he got a 0 on the test, and
Sure.
then he was allowed to make it up today, and he forgot to. So that's the kind of stuff I don't know what the fuck I'm supposed to do about this.
Well, it's
And then I worked at I was at the Ice House recently. And Adam Carolla was there. Did I tell you this? He has twins that are 12, and he's like, I don't pay attention.
Oh my God.
I'm like, I don't know if I could do that. I mean, it's I don't know. That seems like a luxury. If some of these kids are getting C's, maybe.
Right.
I don't know.
Maybe. Or
anyway,
he's just psyched they lived.
Yeah, his point, which is well taken, is that all of the people he knows dropped out of college and just started working really hard. Those are the successful people. And he says when he has interns that are in top flight schools, the ones that are accepting bribes, they barely know how to do anything. They're just and I think that's probably a generalization on all sides, but
on all sides. And it's I've met. I remember the first time I met fabulously wealthy people.
Right.
And they were very hard workers. And it was such a weird thing because I had seen all those movies.
Yeah.
In the early... And all those movies were about just douchebags who went...
Wall Street or something?
No. They were all those... Animal House and Caddyshack. And they were literally about the worst, grossest...
Inherited money.
Inherited creeps.
But
and then
not inherited work ethic.
Right. And then the worker, the hero of the show was always somebody who worked really hard to get in.
Right.
With the golf club people.
Right.
Or whatever. They wanted to be wasps.
Yeah.
And so when I met I met essentially the heirs to the Ocean Spray fortune. They worked at the hot dog stand that I worked at. And they worked their goddamn asses off. And I was like, and they also did more coke, and they all had fancy cars, and they all had laser disc players, if I remember correctly.
Wow.
I don't know if you remember 1988, but it was a heyday.
Yeah. Well, I it's weird. I just care about my kid.
Yeah, and you should.
And
the thing is,
I only worry about him.
Right. And what would you the thing is I could see these people, somebody tweeted at me, they're like, William H. Macy seems like such a nice guy, why would he bribe somebody? I'm like, well, when it's your kid, you end up making dumb decisions because you think, well, maybe this will help. And that's a terrible decision that you had to
That's more than
plan.
yeah.
And you had to think about it.
Yeah.
And you had to know every step of the way that it was illegal and wrong and immoral and all these things. And everyone around you was probably saying, yeah, everybody does it. Don't sweat it.
I hope they all do jail time. I don't think they will, but I hope they do.
They won't. They're fabulously wealthy. It'll be fine.
Yeah. So anyway, now it's like, well, so now I can go out and do, I do spots. My mom watches them. I mean, that's the way it's been for a while.
Yeah.
But one day I won't have my mom. And then do I just leave my kid and do a, when he's like
14 or
15 and dart out to do a spot at 10 o'clock at night?
I don't know. Was there someone at your house when you were 14?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
There was no one at my house.
But I don't like the way you were raised.
Yes, amen. Fair enough. Not wrong. It's
And Felicia Michaels said that's the age where you have to be on them all the time because as soon as you leave, they go online and start looking at shit.
right. But he's,
I mean, not that my mom would be on top of it if I left when he was 14.
Yeah.
But it's just I feel like we're becoming an older little unit now that I don't have this person that's been around since he was 4 and
yeah.
I don't know. It's gonna be a hard transition in some way.
Well, I'll tell you, there are comics who need to make some money. If you need someone to help with tutoring and stuff,
Right. Mm-hmm.
and they are, I don't know,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's options.
So as a crane,
This, as opposed to last
who
week,
cares about this? Who cares?
But as opposed to last week, this is a very low key episode.
All the drama was sucked out of me in the past
also
2
with
days.
me.
Yeah,
And also
I'm
with
like
me.
nothing. Right, I'm just like a feather right now. I could blow away. And I
Well,
wouldn't
here's the
care.
scoop. I had such a nice morning that then I got a text message asking if I could go to Minneapolis and do the NPR show.
Oh wait, I thought you already turned that down.
Well, I couldn't do it the other week.
Oh, okay.
I was already working.
Okay.
But I'm home because these are the 3 weeks that I was not going to travel at all. But I was in such a good mood that I forgot that these are the 3 weeks I wasn't going to travel. So I was like, oh, yeah, I can totally do that. And then I haven't heard back, so I think it's still up in the
Is
air.
that Chris Thiel? Or
The
Live?
thing that used to be...
that used to be
Yeah.
Prairie Home Companion.
Yeah.
Now I think it's live from here.
Didn't you do it? You did
About
it.
a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
I had
It's,
to follow Chris Stapleton.
Oh, that's nice. Who's that?
That's what I was like. Now I know who he is. He's like a giant star, Jackie.
Fair enough.
I didn't know the pressure I was under.
Right,
So
exactly.
I was like, who's this guy? And then he starts hitting these notes, and the crowd's screaming, and I'm like,
Oh, wow.
oh my god, this guy's fucking phenomenal.
Wow.
He's not a YouTube, like
Yeah.
a YouTube comic would go up and suck. It's like, oh, this guy actually brings it. It's
Exactly.
amazing. He's a singer. He's not a comic, of course, but
Right.
yeah.
I did the golf course. Oh, wait. You got something?
No, I just want to try to finish the story I tried to start 25 minutes ago.
Oh, please. What story 25 minutes ago?
We're going to have an altercation on this show. No. I
I
just
thought
was
you
like,
hated puns.
I do.
But not when I'm the brunt of them. I see.
I'm
I
too
understand.
weak to fight back.
Right.
It's all been taken out of
It's
me.
all been...
I did a couple more tweets about her, and then I was like, I'm done. I've made my point. If no one believes me or they disagree, whatever, who cares?
I hope you're
it doesn't
getting
matter
paid
anymore.
more than she makes on that Wednesday.
I won't. Of course I wouldn't. It doesn't matter. Everyone go about your lives. I expressed my fury and anger, and I backed it up with research.
You're a comedy purist sometimes.
Listen,
And
when my ex cheated on me, I almost got a detective license. I did so much forensic. I poured over phone records. I matched it to fights that we had and stuff. So when I need to do research on somebody, I can really drill
there you
down
go.
and do it.
that's all the boy's looking for.
So I was at Crane's.
Yep.
And Eliza Skinner was there. She was very funny.
Oh, she's so awesome.
And there's like 3 people that needed to go up first.
Okay, of course.
I could not book a show just based on that alone, just based on people's preferences.
When do I need to go up? Yeah, I'm doing a set. I'm doing 2 sets tomorrow, and I have to go up first at one and last at the other
Yeah.
because it's L.A.
Where are you going tomorrow?
Oh, I have Big Money, Virgil.
Oh.
And then Jared and Karis.
Oh, nice.
at
Bar
the Bar
Lubitsch?
Lubitsch.
Oh, that's a nice...
Yeah, nice.
that's a nice
back-to-back.
Thursday.
It's a real nice Thursday. Both
Could
those
probably
crowds
get
should
some...
be great.
Yeah, get some work done on that.
Yeah.
Both of them.
Yeah, and I did Joke Machine today with Carmen Morales.
Mm-hmm.
And had a morning phoner with some lady from who was thinking about maybe doing a TV show with me as a but
A talker,
yeah,
a speaker,
as
a panelist,
where I
a
talk,
comic.
where I talk out loud, and then
Where you
I
do
interview
stand-up?
people. No, I interview people.
Oh, do you like man on the street stuff?
Yeah, I think it's like a
Correspondent?
yeah, more like that, but like. Yeah, I would interview people and find out what they really like, sort of like the Dork Forest, but
Cool.
thing like that. Yeah, and you know, I didn't get a free Caesar salad out of it, but so far I've gotten a couple of very nice phone calls with a very nice lady.
Is that your standard?
That's the standard. That's
is
what
that your
Maria
minimum?
did for like 3 years. Every time I talked to her after a meeting with Netflix, I'd say, "How do they go?" She goes, "Free Caesar salad." We don't know what's going to happen, but all I know is I got some free Caesar salad. I said, "With chicken?" She's like, "Mm-hmm." So that's Hollywood for you. Anyway, but how was Cranes? Did you go up?
I did, and it was fine. I finished, like, I had till today. Right now, this is Wednesday, to
Right.
like squeeze out a set that I could send to.
Oh, right.
It's late night, and I feel like it's very close, but it's not there yet. So I just said that in my email, and I think like in a month and a half, this bit. Or month, maybe.
Yeah,
it'll
be tight.
I'll find it. Like the parts I was worried about are smoothing out. It's like you're constantly just ironing out wrinkles, and then you're like, "Oh, there's a fucking new one back here. I thought I got that section." So,
Is it? For
yes,
that? Yeah.
yes. So, so now I feel like the top 3/4 is where I want it.
Oh, there you go.
And it doesn't depress people when I start it, and there's not a gasp anymore.
Right. Oh, good.
Which I wanted to get rid of, was driving me nuts.
Yeah.
Like you can't start on that kind of a dip. you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
In a long set, it doesn't matter, but in a short one, you have to immediately. They have to
You
be
have to be
on
more
board.
likable. Yeah.
Yes. And then it would be nice if I could. Well, whatever. Eliminate the first two jokes that are unassociated with it. Mm-hmm. But I think I need to replace them. Anyway, that's just whatever work I got to do.
Right.
But then, so now the last fourth, that was the thing that laugh I would count on as the strongest one. And I was like, I have to fill the middle. Now I'm like, oh, the middle's full. And it took some of the laugh from the very end. So
Okay.
For some reason, it like snatched it. And now I need.
Now you got to rebuild the
rhythmically,
end?
I mean, there's like a nice big laugh, and now there needs to be something else before I get to another laugh. It's almost like too soon, and so that's that.
That's cool.
It's not
That's
cool.
amazing.
I mean,
But I mean, just think.
But I see it in the horizon. I
Okay.
don't know I haven't figured but I know now I know the beats of it
Okay.
after 7 months.
Well, I have to tell you, I have these two sets that I've been meaning to break down and send to somebody and see if anybody, and sort of just figure out what to do with them. Mm-hmm. And I haven't had the energy in the last 2 weeks to do anything. I've been doing some sets,
Right.
but I've mostly been sitting around and and I'm just starting, I think, to get some energy back. So I've been exhausted. I was just burnt.
Yes.
To a
Dude,
fucking
you've been doing
crisp.
So much traveling.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
so, and I, when this comes out, the weekend coming up is the Boise Tree Fort Comedy Festival.
How fun.
Yeah, I'm going to do some sets, and then I was looking today at their list because I'm doing a.
Are they paying decently?
Yeah, and Live Dork Forest, but I can only talk about the Dork Forest this episode. This is the third story about the Dork Forest.
Oh my God!
I know, but I'm looking for. But I have to look at the list of comics that are at this festival so that I could pick a guest because it's always fun. Festivals, comedy camp, but I don't think it's a very big festival,
Where are you
so I don't
staying?
know if I'm. So,
Do you know what kind of hotel it is? Is it a good hotel?
I hope it's a good hotel.
You don't know yet?
I don't. No. I don't have any details.
How you getting there? You flying?
I'm flying there. Southwest, Burbank.
They stopped those planes. Southwest has those
Boeings?
those Boeing 787 MAX 8s or whatever. Yeah,
Right.
a lot of them are Southwest planes.
Oh, Jesus. Well,
I've got like 2 Southwest gigs coming up. I was about to look into that, like investigate
what am I
kind of
what am
plane
I
I'm on.
flying? Has this put together
Doesn't
with duct
matter
tape
anymore.
and-
They've all been grounded.
Oh, they've all been grounded?
Our great president.
Yeah.
Finally. Jesus.
He was like, that'll be fun. That'll be fun. Oh, it's not going to be fun? All
Well,
right.
you know what? They were working on a fix. I guess it's a software thing. And the work stopped during the government shutdown, the 5-week long government shutdown. Now, those 2 plane crashes happened, I think. It's possible that had they been able to work on the fix, they would have caught it before those either Ethiopian Air or Lion Air went down.
Wow. That's
something that also won't be held. He won't be held accountable for at all.
No, it's just a jumble. It's a real shit show out there. But did you see Gavin Newsom?
Yeah.
You see what he did?
Oh,
He
the death
pardoned?
penalty?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He pardoned like over 700 people. He didn't pardon them. He
He just
put
said,
a stay of
we're not going to
execution.
execute you.
Yeah. And he's like, and
Well,
it
there you go.
lowers the anxiety,
Sure.
you know?
So I'm at Laughs this weekend in Seattle.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Friday, Saturday, 2 shows.
Look forward to the Razor Wire.
What's that mean?
They have that new space. They used to be in Kirkland, right?
Yeah. I
And
never
now
went to
they're-
their Kirkland room.
Oh, you know, at that one. So they're in Seattle proper now.
Like where?
University area, I believe.
Capitol Hill?
Don't know. And
Near where the girl from the Gits was murdered?
Sure. No, I have no idea. I
Okay.
didn't murder her, so I don't.
I know.
I'm unfamiliar, or at least I'm not going to say that I know where she was murdered.
Her name was Mia. Yes, Mia
Zapata?
Zapata. I
She
remember
was in
that
a band?
murder so much.
It's a real tragedy.
She's
well,
like
then
one
it's
of us.
par for the course on this
But
fucking
she was
episode.
about our age, and she was in a band, and she was murdered while she's waiting for a bus in Seattle.
Okay.
Awful.
That is
It could have been
awful.
us. It could have been anybody.
It could have been anybody, and it is, and it's often anybody. Right. So anyway, so they moved to this new space, and the new space is in this area being gentrified. And for some reason, the new building has this sort of outside area where you usually sell merch.
Yeah.
That has razor wire on the cyclone fence. And I asked Angela, I was like, any chance that could be a little more friendly? And she goes, I have been trying to get him to take it down, and he will not. And I'm like, well, so be it.
Have any of them cut themselves while waiting for you to autograph
running
a poster?
for them to get a pin. No, they're doing just fine.
Okay.
Somebody made a donation, by the way, via my PayPal donation button on my website.
Oh, nice.
And said that it was half for you. And I said, nope, mine. So I owe you $14.12.
Wait, the person gave you
$30.
Oh.
And so PayPal takes
Oh,
it.
you're just taking a little bit for yourself?
No, PayPal takes a little bit for themselves.
Okay.
Yeah. Why don't I?
That was nice.
A processing fee. Well, sure. Let's see if
Wow.
you
Take
ever
my-
get it.
Take
See if
my
you-
PayPal, take my gigs. What else of mine do you want, Jackie?
I offered you that gig bag twice. You could have taken
You
it.
didn't mean it.
Oh, I totally meant it.
Who who wants to give back a $3,000 gig? Nobody.
This one right here, sitting
Lie.
right over here.
I
You-
could
you
see
live
your
in a
eyes
lie.
were blinking. One of your eyes is all of a sudden one of them started
Wait,
looking
why am
away.
I hooked up to a lie detector all of a sudden? How did it happen? The insanity. Yeah. So, but I'm looking forward to the because I do like Boise. Have you ever been to Boise?
Yeah, I used to work
There used to be a club there. I never worked
the Funny
it.
Bone.
Yeah, I've only done. I think I did a gig with Brian Regan there.
Yeah.
and that's the only other time I've been there. But it's beautiful.
I got locked. I mean, I got stuck in an elevator in the haunted. It was a haunted hotel
Yeah.
that they put the comics up in, and I got stuck in the elevator. And I made the newspapers the next day after the gig, of course.
Oh, my
It's
God,
like,
I was just
couldn't
about
this
to
happen
ask.
on Wednesday instead of Sunday.
Exactly. How about some press?
Jesus.
And here's my question: were there any ghosts in the elevator? Did you meet a ghost?
I didn't.
You did
but the
not?
rooms were all individual. They were it kind of reminded me of that Birmingham Airbnb, whatever that
the
you and I
fiddle
stayed
and diddle
in. But
with
there
the
weren't.
doilies and the.
and the
horses
and
and
the
men.
carnival,
Yeah.
the carnival caricatures,
the carousel.
yeah. But Boise was great. And then the club, she never got back to me. You know, I kept faxing avails. That's what you did back then.
Back in the day,
Never got back to me, and I never knew if it was like a female thing, like. You know, she wanted to be. Sometimes
she was in her period.
Sometimes women bookers like to be the only woman in the room, and they like to have the male comics kissing up to them.
All that creepy
happens.
attention. It happened.
That used to happen at the Cleveland.
It used to happen.
The Cleveland Improv. That was my theory about. I forget her name. This is the 90s. Like she really liked having the male comics just kiss her ass, and then when the female comic was in there, it was like, ugh. You're pussy blocking me. I'm like, go ahead, have them all. I don't want them. Trust me, they're all yours.
Your pudendum is engorged with blood. Hi, out loud. Words that came into my brain, and then I said them out loud.
You're not in control of yourself anymore.
I really am not. I had such a good day, and then I said yes to this possible gig, and then there was this other gig that they wanted me to do both 2 days, and I keep wanting to, quite honestly, do a lot of nothing, but just for a second, you know, and then just go do sets. Mm-hmm. I mean, literally, I would just like to sort of sleep all day long for a month, and then do sets like every other day.
Ah, that's my dream.
What a great life that would be, because I've got 3 bits and that are new but more than anything, I need long sets so that I can work on the new album, which may or may not happen by December if I don't get the long sets.
Everyone's fucking releasing an album, man.
Oh, I saw that.
There's a lot of albums out.
There's a lot of albums, a lot of great comics.
A lot of funny people.
Yeah, Josh Gondelman's is coming out. Did you see that?
Yes.
Yeah. Hampton Yount.
Everyone's got a new fucking hour.
Right. Well, I think everyone has an hour. And now they're going to have to write another new hour. Because Kyle Clark has an album coming out.
Yes.
Still not out yet, but he's working on it. And did Solange's? Solange's got dropped.
It's ready and available.
That's ready.
Where you can find digital audio.
Solange
Castro,
Castro.
who used to be our comic of the week.
Yeah. Hey, where are we at with that?
At 26 minutes.
Dude, this
Let's
is
do it.
snail's pace. This is torture tonight.
Tick fucking tock. Hey, the Max Fun Drive happens once a year, and it's happening right now, you guys. This is the first week of the Max Fun Pledge Drive, and you join as a monthly member, or if you're already a member, thank you. It's the best time of the year to upgrade your monthly membership. And so the Max Fun Drive ends on Friday, March 29th, so be sure to go to MaximumFun.org/donate right now and become a member.
I'm excited. We're already 25 seconds into this 5-minute
right.
pledge break.
Well, because and what we're doing, of course, because we joined Maximum Fun this year.
Yes.
And it has great shows. Who do we love? We love Emily Heller.
Yes.
J. Keith Van Stratton show I've done. That dog thing that made me laugh.
Jesse,
Jordan.
Jordan.
Yeah, Jordan
Yes.
and Jesse. Do you know that
Amy
they go?
Mann, Ted Leo. What?
Yeah, that's the new one. Did you know that Jordan and Jesse go? Did you know
yes.
that?
Yeah, they do go.
That
my God.
That was me doing it. And there's Kyle. So
People are actually reducing their pledge amounts now because of that joke.
So, and then we do a comic of the week every week, so you get to hear that.
Yes. And so far, it's always been a woman.
So far, you guys.
I wish more men
stay
would do
tuned.
comedy.
You know what? Not enough men are doing stand-up. Do you know why? Because naturally, they just aren't that funny. It's very hard. But
Well, here, there's a whole network, there's a whole ecosystem at Maximum Fun, and we're part of it. And
this is the only time.
This is the only time we're suffering as much as you are right now. Believe me, this is absolutely. I'm reading bullet points. This is absolutely the last thing I want to do.
Right,
but. We don't get paid for this, and we're trying to make some money off of it. We did each take home over $113 from our QED appearance.
That live QED.
Yeah, we flew across the country floor. Yeah, so
you cashed the check, right?
Not yet.
What
I spilled coffee on
I cashed it immediately. What's happening? Okay, but here's the thing: is at different levels you get different trinkets, right?
Yeah.
Like
trinkets?
Yeah. You get like at $10 a month, you get a pin that we designed.
Oh, okay.
A comic of the week pin.
Oh, neat.
Yeah. Were you not there for the the art review of that? I don't think you were.
I think I paid some
Remember when I
attention.
wanted to do a podcast because there wasn't going to be anything to it? Remember that? I said,
Oh my
I
god!
got sucker punched, you guys. But here's the cool thing: is that we're kind of with the cool kids in the dorkiest way because Max Fun
Yes.
is full of a pile of nerds that I actually like.
And here also, because we have to reward, we get to reward the people that subscribe.
Yes.
The people that pay extra. I mean, you could hear all this stuff for free, I guess, but we're all trying to make a little bit of money here, and we provide a lot, hopefully, entertainment for you.
Content.
Yes,
That's right.
And if we make your lives better, if you join, you could join at the minimum amount, which is $5, or
Right.
you could skip. Turn
the
it
way-
up a notch.
$500 a month. $500 a month. Hey, Rockefellers,
But
get out there.
We recorded, and this was so painful to
for
me.
you. It was
We
genuinely painful.
recorded an extra episode
You were
that
like, can't we give
is
one of those?
hidden unless you join Max Fun.
Right. So you get to hear all kinds of stuff.
And it was in Jackie's hotel room in New York, and we were already exhausted from QED. So
Right, it was right
if you
after
like
QED.
us tired and annoyed,
Oh, boy, are you in for a treat. That's right. So what you're doing is you're helping to make the shows possible. You help Maximum Fun reach the goal of 25,000 new and upgrading members, and you get cool gifts. We'll remind you about those later. But if you want to donate right now, before you forget, go to MaximumFun.org/donate to see all the gifts and start your membership. What else? Do you have any other bullet points on there?
well, no, but we only have one more minute left, so I think we could.
Can I see it?
Yeah, go ahead.
see.
I can't
Maybe-
really read it. I don't.
It's a huge celebration of all things Max Fun.
It's a small font.
It's a small font of all things Maximum Fun. And we're going to talk about more Max Fun stuff later, but for now, know that,
Jackie, I think what you're trying to say is that the way the industry is right now, or it's devolving or evolving, is that people get shit for free, and it's not fair. All right, if you're listening to this for free, you're not a good person.
But
Okay,
just feel how good you'll feel when you care enough about our show to commit to giving us a few bucks a month.
It only
you can do
costs-
it. It's a minimum of $5.
minimum of $5 a month to be a good person, and think of how much you get. And we don't
And
try
don't-
to sell you vibrators.
And
do we?
Not at this time.
No.
But here's the crazy thing: is what you should know is that that there's. Well, I'm going to say there was one more point that I was supposed to get here.
Jackie, they said 5 minutes is the max that when people start to get angry, and we're at 5:11,
What
12,
I'm saying
13.
is that if we haven't berated you enough, it's actually a really cool thing, and our listeners have been actually very cool. So let's get into the show.
Thank you.
I don't have it, and you can't cover my ass because you don't have it either.
I know it. It's well, what are you going to do?
I know.
It's You have any dead comic stories? Maybe we go.
What did I tell the story about when I was arguing with Patrice O'Neill over the Kobe Bryant rape?
No.
Okay, so he
was 4. What?
Well, he was of the opinion that it wasn't rape because she had multiple strains of semen in her vagina, and I was arguing that you could still be raped, and maybe she had been with some other guys before or whatever. But then I came up with a bit.
Thank God.
But I was like, she's my hero. She, what? She got raped, and she's like, I'm just gonna get right back on that horse again.
Oh my
And
God.
have more sex. It was still pro her,
Right.
Pro sex. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it's weird how you
Right,
could have
the
a discussion like that,
conversation
and
you
then
have.
that part of your brain's like, ding. I gotta try that tonight.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
But I think he talked about it on Tough Crowd, and I was I was writing on the
Yeah.
show, but I wasn't appearing on that one, and I was somehow we started talking about it near the seats. I remember it being near the seats in the studio on 55th Street, and it was kind of a loud, long argument.
kind of a heated conversation.
A heated
on set?
conversation.
Like it was sort of on the set.
Yeah, after the show, and
after the
people
show?
were out and stuff
Milling
like that,
around.
milling
Yeah.
around. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was-
It's like
and then the many times he would see you with notes and just
swat them out of your hands.
Because at a show.
Fuck you, appear on just be funny without your notes. Which is like, I get it,
Yeah.
but it drove you crazy. You really had to hold on to your shit around him, or you would just pull it out.
He
and
was the kind of
tear
guy
it
who
up
just
into-
knock your books.
Yeah, just
out of
be
your
funny
hands.
with it. Exactly.
Yeah. Well, he's dead now. They're all dead now. I mean, some comic in Australia died today, killed himself.
Who? No,
I don't know.
really?
It came on my feed, and I was like, but I didn't know him.
Wow.
Yeah, another suicide, and lending the attitude that we're all just sad clowns that are going to kill ourselves. You know that George Carlin died in his bed of old age.
Right. But here's
That's how I want to go. I don't know about you.
I also think middle age is very dangerous for
Mm-hmm.
people. Like there's a certain energy you have in your 20s and 30s when you're like, I'm going to make this happen.
Mm-hmm.
And then somewhere in your 40s and 50s, you're like, oh, I did not make that happen. And then you're like, well, what did I do? And then, or it starts to make you crazy or afraid, or, now you've based your entire career on this delusion that you're going to be famous, and it didn't happen. Now what?
I mean,
it's a hard day when you realize that.
the pressure of, I have to say that I am relieved of that only because I never wanted to be famous. And I moved here to Los Angeles, where ostensibly one moves to get famous.
Mm-hmm.
I moved here because I was told to. Because I was like, they were like, well, that's the Minneapolis is
what a
too
rebel.
small.
What a rebel spirit you have.
Well, I mean, the thing is you may mock, and I know you will. But what it is it's more. I've never thought that I would be famous, because I've never thought that I had. Well, you remember Karen Kilgariff used to do that joke about how the best looking person in every small town comes to Los Angeles to find out that they are not the best looking person in the world,
Right.
And how disappointing that is for them.
Yeah.
And then I don't know, I forget where she went with it, but it was such a great premise, and it's so true. I never considered myself that, so I was like, oh well, maybe I could be the best friend, and I moved here before the best friend had to be super hot foxy as well. It was early days of
She even has to be hotter because she has to steal the man away from the best friend.
Well, she has to. Well, she not only has to be. She has to be all as hot, I would say, as the lead, or close to as hot.
Mm-hmm.
But she has to also be funnier.
Right.
Like she has to have
So
comic
funny that
timing.
men don't want her.
Right.
And she's no competition.
That's not that hard. It's
You only have to tell one joke a week to turn off men.
someone was telling me that that there is. Oh, is it not? It's not Ontario. It might be. There's a where's Pachanga?
Pachinko?
Pachanga. Pachinko's a game. Pachanga's something
That's
else.
right.
Where's Pachanga?
Desert or near San Diego? I can't remember.
Near San Diego.
It might be. Yeah. Okay. So, Entertainment Max books that, and it's a Thursday through Sunday.
Oh,
It's
where
a
do you
full
stay?
week. I'm not doing it.
Do you have to drive back and forth?
No, it's a casino, so they have like $1 million gazillion dollars.
But you get to stay. It's a weekend. Kind of
you
in
stay the
town.
whole thing.
Yeah, why not? Why wouldn't you want to do that?
Because it's an hour and a half in traffic.
Once, and then you come back on Sunday.
Oh, no, you stay there. There is a hotel.
Right, that's what I'm saying. You drive down on Thursday morning, you stay there, and you drive back on Sunday.
We agree.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I just said.
You're not going to drive that amount for a road gig? As opposed to getting on a flight to fucking Minneapolis?
I was going to tell you a story, but you just jumped ahead to me doing it and then me not doing it. I was offered it, and I've turned it down, and I wasn't even offered it yet. What just happened?
I'm outraged that you turned down gigs.
In a mythical world where that story was told, I turned down a gig that I haven't been offered. It's an Entertainment Max gig. It's a Barry Neal gig.
I don't know what that means. I haven't worked for him.
Oh, you haven't?
No.
But the
you made a gesture with your hands. The court should be apprised of the fact that that Jackie made a gesture with her hand.
He was a guy. Barry Neal told me in a car once why he had to make more money than the comics.
Okay.
When we were driving to Ojai, it was $100. I was making $100, and he was telling me this is probably 12 years ago, and he said, we could drive together. That'll save you some gas money. And I was like, good. And it's probably 15 years ago.
Did he give you gas money?
No.
So it didn't save you gas money. It saved him gas money.
No, I drove to his house in like Valencia, and then we drove to Ojai together. And during that time, there and back to Ojai, where we played a dive bar that had like a table lamp as the lighting, I was to make $100, and he was like, I'm making, and I was closing, and he was like, I always make triple what the comic makes.
The headliner?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I was like, okay.
Were there a lot of people in the audience at this bar?
No, in all gigs.
I see.
That was his.
Did he made
said
$300 for that one?
Yeah, he was always like, he said, I like to make 3 times as much as the headliner. And I said, do you? And I said, but you're not doing the comedy. You're just booking the room. And he's like, yeah, I booked the room. And I said, well, you know what the normal thing is the booker takes 10% or they take a standardized cut.
I think they would take more. I mean, it is kind of a pain in the ass you have to find a room. I'm just trying to remember like what Tribble, I'm so tired. Tribble would do. He'd like drive all over the country or drive all over the Northwest and try to find a room.
And you build a thing.
Yes, and you start it and you get them a
but
mic.
It's usually
and you tell
not.
them they have to have the audience be quiet. You know what I mean? Like all that stuff.
Well, all I know is that all the road gigs I did in the Midwest, it was you didn't make more than the headliner. It was usually
right.
It
That's
was
right.
because it was 50 or 52 weeks a year that you maybe 48, right? If there were 4 weeks that were dark, and you would get probably, and it was a gig where the headliner was getting $200, maybe the feature was getting $100, and the MC might be getting $25 or $35, and so. To my knowledge, those one-nighters, the way that it was always done with Tom Hansen and Muller and those guys is they would get the feature size money. Like if the feature got 100, they would usually make 100 a week. So, but anyway, so the last time I worked for Barry Neal was probably about 15 or 16 years ago. And because he also books a weekend in Laughlin and he has a weekend out. He has several weekend rooms, right?
He has weekend rooms in horrible cities.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, he just has some four-walling rooms out in the middle of nowhere.
Okay.
And then he booked me for a college Occidental, where it was me and 2 other comics, and I was making $250. The other comics were both making a little bit less than that. And then we found out that he was making $3,000.
Jesus
and
Christ.
So
I think Obama went there.
Yeah, just for a short amount of time.
Yeah.
And so, but we're driving in this car to Ojai, and he's explaining to me why he has to make more money than the comics. And I am explaining to him that the reason I'm doing the gig is because I need $100. And so he's already sold the gig to me. He doesn't need to rationalize.
Yeah.
And I said, if I don't need $100, I won't do the gig. And I haven't needed to work for him since. But when I hear about a gig like this, the Thursday through Sunday at a casino, and it's paying okay to headline.
Yeah.
But because it is in town.
Yeah.
To some extent, you could drive back and forth if you wanted
in
to.
your home. Yeah.
And it's, but it is still 2, 4, 6 shows. Thursday, Sunday, and then 2 on Friday and Saturday. And that, and I, you know what, if he's paying the headliner $1,000 and he's making $6,000,
oh God,
I would not be surprised, but I don't know. I mean, just because of that story, how he explained how he likes to do things, I assume he's making a giant bag of money, which makes me not want to do the gig because I would like a fair split.
Yeah.
But what if I needed $1,000?
Well,
would I humiliate myself?
What about this guy who I heard does people's jokes on cruise ships? You've heard that, right?
Not on cruise ships.
Yeah.
Where did you hear that? Because remember, I heard him do
I don't
somebody's
remember.
joke.
Oh, you have?
Yeah.
Who's
and
joke? Well, don't say that. But where did you hear it? Like at a gig?
Yeah, that he booked me at. And I emailed him about. I think I told it on this show.
We've talked about it.
Okay, well, whatever. But I emailed him and I said, "Hey, he did that joke on Conan, a joke really close to the joke you just did. Just so you know." And he literally emailed me back and said, "Oh yeah, I stole that joke."
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. And I said, "Wait, what?" And he said, "Yeah, I perform for those people every week, and I need." He said, "I usually steal," and he said, "steal twice." He said, "I usually use Mitch Hedberg's jokes because he's dead," and I was like,
Oh,
"It's
my
that's not okay." And I said, "You have to use that as an opportunity to write, or don't host every week or whatever."
What the
And
fuck?
Yeah. I haven't worked for him since then either. But I ran
I
into the
haven't
guy.
worked for him in months. After I heard that, I was
And he
not-
won't book Kyle? Ugh.
Well, you know what? When you need money, you don't care.
Yeah, well, that's it. I mean, and it's so...
Wait, who?
It's I'm saying it wrong. Is that... I forget who that is.
I don't know that last
well,
name.
that's not right.
Okay.
Whatever. It was a funny joke. And I ran into him 2 days after that guy, the booker, told me that he did that.
Oh, this is the
yeah,
guy.
that's a comic whose joke he stole.
Okay.
And I said, "Hey, just so you know, that guy did one of your jokes." And he goes, "Oh, it's good to know that because I work for him a bunch, and I'll know not to do that joke."
Oh my god! Why are people cool with this?
I was like, "Don't be cool with that, dude. It's your joke." I was like, I don't know if he's stealing any of my jokes, but my jokes sometimes are so much about my dad, and it's a rabbit hole.
The
It's
more
like,
personal you get, the harder
it is to steal
But
that joke.
Then the more enraged you are when somebody actually has the balls to
Exactly.
steal.
Right.
Oh, my
I was
God.
like, oh, that was a story from my childhood you just mined from my act.
Yeah.
Anyway, what are you gonna do? It's
don't know.
we had a rummage sale. Did I tell you that? Yeah, I probably
Yeah,
did.
you did. It's only been 2 days.
It's not been
since-
enough days,
Yeah, it hasn't
It's,
been. But we don't have a choice because you're traveling.
right? Because we're gonna go up to the moms,
I'm going to.
and you're going to New York, and yeah. There was a chance to go up to Big Bear and play D&D this Saturday, but I might.
It's snowing there, right? Or will there still be snow there?
I think there'll still be snow there, but if Andy has to buy chains, which I guess they're only like $25 and they're easy enough to put on the car. Have you ever had to put chains on?
No, but you know what I can do is rent a car with tires that you don't need chains for.
Well, except for that, like, because that's what I was asking somebody about that because I said, we have snow tires in the Midwest. It's not like we don't have snow.
Yeah.
And I was told you need the chains because of the incline, because of it's mountain roads.
Maybe.
And so you can't not have chains.
Okay. But there's
And-
also services that put chains on. I mean, we used to go to, when I was a kid, Lake Tahoe, and,
Yeah.
and
they
you
would
just
put-
pull over $20, they put chains on your car, and then, then you keep driving until you don't need them, and then there's a service that takes them off.
Oh, well.
Some family made a lot of money.
Yeah, like Lyle Waggoner. Remember Lyle Waggoner?
I don't think Lyle Wagner was changing the chains on my tires.
No, but he made Star Wagons. He was
Okay.
the guy that invented the trailer.
Oh.
Yeah.
The guy from the Carol Burnett show?
Yeah.
Wow.
Lyle Waggoner. So if you ever see Star Wagons, that
I
brand.
do. Yeah.
And you do.
Yeah, they're on the Warner Brothers lot with all the butterflies.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, did you get to see butterflies?
Yeah, there's a lot of butterflies today.
I did not get to see. It's been very windy. Our neighbors, one of our neighbors passed away, and they.
I'm very sorry for your loss.
Yeah, Larry, and Larry. But the thing is so Victor, the guy who's doing his estate, he was a hoarder, been cleaning out his house for months, making it ready to sell, and now it's all ready to sell and everything. And so there was a garage sale across from our garage. So Andy did a garage sale with them, and last night someone burgled Larry's garage and stole a bunch of flat screen TVs because he had several big TVs.
Wow.
But it was like an inside job.
Yeah, who
So
would
they don't know. They don't know who. Like if somebody who came to see the
Jackie.
house on Saturday,
Was it you?
it was not.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I didn't even help Andy with the rummage sale. I'm not fencing items. That's far more work than I'm.
You did confess to being a thief.
Right,
Several podcasts ago.
Cold cash and booze. What are you, nuts? Who's got time to sell things? It's
Kyle.
We're at 42.
we never did the comic of the week.
Nor the first.
The first.
All
the
right.
first pledge shot. Oh, that's right. At 26, that's when we mention what time it is. Do the first pledge there. And let's do the second pledge here after
Okay.
we talk about this great comic who is doing a show with Shalewa Sharp in
Where?
New York now.
Oh, cool.
A new
Oh,
show.
like a weekly?
Yeah.
Where?
Her name is Carolyn.
Carolyn Castiglia.
Carolyn Castiglia.
Yeah, she's
And
very
it's-
funny. Brooklyn, lives in Park Slope.
Yep.
I think, but she
CKC?
loves Brooklyn.
Miss CKC.
Miss,
At Miss CKC, MISS. All right.
very funny. A mom as well.
Yeah, and is doing this show with Shalewa Sharp in sort of it's supposed to look kind of burlesque-y.
Oh, cool.
And but a weekly show. And I tweeted it at them and said that I wanted to do it next time I came to New York.
What night?
I don't know. But if you go to at Miss CKC, maybe you'll find out. 'Cause she's a great comic.
Okay, I'll read the bullet points, and then you interrupt me with quips.
Okay. That's what I'll do, Lori. You read the bullet points.
First of all, you get a whole bunch of shit if you donate $50 a month, and some of you can do that.
Some of you have really good jobs,
Yeah,
and there's $50 a month.
some of you aren't comics.
Right.
Some of you.
But we're back to talk about what being a monthly member of Max Fun actually gets you, right? Besides all the fuzzies
Right.
that you get, like it's like being hugged. What? It doesn't say that. They wouldn't have written that.
Well, here on my bullet points, it doesn't say exactly what you get for 50
mine
to
do.
100.
And so here's the
Oh,
thing: you
okay.
get the good feeling of knowing your money goes directly towards us, so you can keep making this damn show for you.
Yeah.
You know that Max Fun wants to reach 25,000 new and upgrading members.
Mm-hmm.
You can contribute at whatever monthly level works for your lifestyles, from $5 a month to $200 a month.
Some of you
for
have
$5 a month, you access 100 hours of awesome bonus content from all the shows across the network.
Okay.
That's what $5 gets you. And the Jackie and Laurie bonus show, hilariously tired, sleepy time. And
yeah,
little
and
did I know.
we're angry that we had to do it. And
$10 a month, you get a Max Fun membership card, and you get to choose from 40 pins. Pick our pin.
Jackie,
We went to the trouble to make a pin.
you're like too good at this.
Well, it's and then you get to choose from about 40 pins designed by Megan Lynn Cott. Let's mention Megan Lynn Cott because she took the time to design some pins. The Jackie and Laurie one is really cool. It's a composition notebook that says Comic of the Week on it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I can't believe you didn't see. Oh my God! If you could spare $20 a month, you not only get the pin and access to the bonus content, but you get a 550-piece puzzle featuring an illustration by Jeffrey Tice.
A puzzle that's so up your alley. Oh my God!
I
You
don't-
and Andy doing a puzzle with Paul F. Tompkins and all your other comedy friends.
Let me just tell you something about puzzles.
Yeah.
They're not my dorkdom. I don't give a shit about puzzles. Some people love puzzles, and I haven't had a puzzle dork on. Anyway, the very same Jeffrey Tice who made our new Jackie and Laurie show logo.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah, but he made the illustration.
Is that with
which-
our crazy hair?
Yeah, it's with
and
the crazy hair.
It's on top of it's on the cover of our notebooks.
Yeah,
Our
and
orange notebooks.
Yeah.
I love that guy.
Yeah. Jeffrey Tice is great. He's also a comic, but he's also an amazing illustrator that does posters for people and all this stuff. So, $35 a month, you get the puzzle, the pin, the bonus content, a glass coffee mug engraved with the Max Fun Rocket logo.
I want one.
Well, you got to give $35 a month. There's also levels at $50, $100, and $200 a month if you listen to a lot of different Max Fun shows and you want to really impress us. So the gifts are probably convincing you, but here's how you become a member. Maximum maximumfun.org/donate.
Yeah.
Select a membership level that's right for you. Provide your credit card, some basic info. Make sure to check the box marked The Jackie and Laurie Show so our membership supports our show.
Yeah,
And
we
voila.
want credit for this shit.
I know we always want credit, you guys. You know that. You know that we want. It's the contribution is ongoing and processed automatically each month. You're already a member. Thank you so much for your support. And if you started listening to other shows since you've joined, consider upgrading your support during the pledge drive. If you upgrade your membership to the next level, you'll be eligible for all the same thank you gifts we're offering new members this year. It's MaximumFun.org/donate. Make sure you do it right now, because if you don't do it right now, MaximumFun.org/donate, you'll forget to do it, and then
Look, do you know how much it costs to do all this shit?
this garage is not being heated by love. It's actually quite
they've
cold.
got it. They're storing stuff on servers. They're paying fees. I mean, it does cost a lot to do.
Yeah,
this.
they have an
and
office and-
we
and
don't
they're
have
processing.
ads, right?
Yeah.
So this is the best. This is as close as we get to having ads right now. Is this plea? For
And they only
a couple
do it once
episodes
year.
a month in
It's
March.
Just there's 2 episodes a year that we do this for. It ends at the end of March.
Right.
Feel free to join.
Yeah, please don't make us pretend we have stamp machines at our house.
Right.
Am I stepping on any of your ads that you already
the
have?
Dork Forest.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Okay. Right.
Are we on the Dork? We're not.
No, but listen, we have 20 more seconds before
Right.
this pledge break ends.
And then we're going to talk about comedy.
And we're hoping that you go to MaximumFun.org/donate and select us as the people that drove you there. And then, do as much as you can afford. It really does.
And thank you so much.
It does help, and we appreciate it. Okay. Boing.
She's great. I love her. I switched my 9:15 on Saturday to an 8:45, so now I have this gap from 8:45 to 10:30 on the Upper West Side. I'm trying to fill it. What do I do?
Oh, right.
Because I'll get off stage at 9, and I don't have to be at the Broadway till 10:30. So I basically have an hour and 15 minutes.
You could do a set on the subway as you take it down.
That's not a real suggestion.
Did you ever see any of those guys do sets on the subway?
No.
There was a guy who used to do sets in Minneapolis in the Skyway system.
What's the Skyway system?
It's a habit trail because it's really, really cold.
Oh, that, yeah.
So it's from building to building. There's skyways.
So he
And-
would just start talking in one of
he
them?
would literally just start talking and do stand-up.
in a mic? Did he bring a mic?
He didn't. It was a cappella. Stand-up comedy a cappella. And he
That's-
said that he made pretty good money.
I bet.
I was like, well, if you are willing to, and he wrote a lot of short one-liners because people are walking by.
Sure.
And he's just got to do like, hey, here's this joke.
Where is he now?
I don't know, probably dead.
Oh my God.
It was 1994. And it's a cheerful episode of the Jackie and Laurie Show, you guys.
Sure.
We're just so tired.
We are exhausted.
which
I've
is
been getting
weird.
no sleep.
Kyle's tired.
Don't feel good. Wednesday night, my babysitter left.
Right.
My son.
Why don't you like calling her the nanny?
It just, I don't know.
Does it feel entitled?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That's what Tina Fey said in her
Yeah, it just feels, because a nanny feels full time and she's not.
right.
She wasn't. But my son, who always called her by her name, like after he found out she was leaving, started calling her the babysitter to I think disassociate or something.
Wow.
But he's excited to. He thinks it's new freedom, but he's about to feel the hammer of mom.
Right.
It's going to
Right.
be ugly.
You still taking him swimming in the mornings?
No swimming. We have to be at school a lot earlier now.
Oh, right.
'cause-
This
Yeah.
year is an early one.
Yeah. 8
So there's
a.m.
no way to get him up at 4:30.
No.
And then, at 12 they need so much sleep too.
do.
It's the
Yeah.
time when his leg
Like
is
10
hollow.
hours
He
at
eats
least.
like 30 or 40 pounds of food a
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
And then just sleeps like one of the big cats.
Yeah.
They sleep like the big cats, teenagers. And yep.
Should we do?
Oh, we did the
my
comic of the
God.
week.
I can't
And after the
keep
comic of the
talking.
week,
I can't keep talking. I have nothing, Jackie.
All right. Well, I'm working on this gender bit. Mm-hmm. And, of course, if you're going to talk about the fluidity of gender, you got to bring it back home. You got to bring it to yourself. And,
Right.
and I think I said something on this podcast that made me go, well, that could be somewhere I could go with it, which is the only place I'm truly a heterosexual woman is in the sack with my husband. Everywhere else, I'm just.
Oh, I thought you meant at this podcast, you're truly heterosexual.
Don't you? Yeah. Don't you feel my feminine vibe? I think it's such a weird. Like gender is so weird anyway. So then to talk about it, I was so psyched to have 2 new jokes that aren't anything about the big topics going on in the world. Like I have a big chunk sort of about sexism. I have a big chunk
Right.
about the situation going on politically, and I was just happy to talk about ghosts and dolphins and Axel.
Yeah, I feel like, I know why people talk about drinking now. It's easy, it's fun, it's light.
You could check
You
out,
know?
much like actual drinking. It helps you to actually check out. But it's good to have, but I think doing like 3 or 4 sets in New York will do that. Because
Yeah.
remember, I was trying to explain to you, but you interrupted that one time two times ago.
One time I
Yeah, that
interrupted.
one time you
wow,
interrupted.
you remember?
Oh, sure. Why wouldn't I? I'm nursing it. And but the you also have
5 spots.
you have 5 spots that
Yeah.
night.
I end up at Gotham at 12:30. I picked up one at Gotham.
Well, say hi to Batman for me.
Okay.
So do you know
Awful. That was awful.
what that?
Say hi to Batman for me.
Oh, was that a polite?
I just
giggle?
know.
Was that what
you
that
know,
was?
I laughed because I'm too tired to fight back.
Well, I'm looking forward to the 2 sets tomorrow. I have a set. If I don't go to Minneapolis on Saturday, I have a set fielding Edlo's show at the Improv.
Oh, nice.
And someone was telling me that the Improv was stealing some of the terminology from the Comedy Store.
What?
And
what do you mean? Like what?
I don't know, like passing and
Come on, that's an old phrase.
Well, every time I hear when
comedy,
they-
that's
Comedy
comic strip
101.
The seller. Yeah, please. Past,
It's,
not past. Yes.
it's the early 70s. That I'm sure it's on Ms. Maisel. Miss Maisel? Somebody
Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
Mrs.
Mrs.
Maisel?
Maisel, yeah.
Is she married, unmarried, or is she a feminist? What's happening with
I
Maisel?
haven't watched it.
No, I'm not watching it. It's
People love it though.
people do love it. Mostly non-comics.
Oh, all non-comics.
What?
All non-comics.
All
I don't know a
non-comics.
single comic that watches it.
Neither do I. I know a couple of comics who write on it.
I know.
but,
I want to because I like the. I'm sure it's great because I know that
I would
the
love to
quality
support
work.
right, because they're good comics who write
Yeah.
on it, and I think that that's beautiful. But that doesn't mean that, because I'm just going to watch it and go, nope, or yep, or yeah, that's sort of something.
That's how I felt sometimes during Crashing.
Oh, I
know?
couldn't watch that at all.
Well, I'm again watching
well, you
comics
couldn't-
have sex. Of course, it's
Right, the
but
making
even when I
out.
watch a little of the comedy stuff, I'm like, no. And then, I that's for other people to enjoy, and
It's
for
for other
us
people
to
to
not
enjoy.
go. No, that's not exactly
You
how
remember
it works.
King of Queens? Do you think the UPS guy ever watched King of Queens? Probably not.
Yeah, I think they did. I do. What else are they going to do?
Not watch the thing where it's like, that's not how UPSs run.
My
And,
cousin's a UPS driver. I'll ask
Yeah,
him.
please do. Why don't we do? Is there a way we could call him now? how we do it on time here?
He's a
51.
Christian. No.
No. Well, ask him if the Lord told him to do anything. And what kind of Christian? A creepy Christian? Mean Jesus?
Well, it's weird. There's a whole bunch of people that are raised Catholic like me, and and then they go hardcore into it somehow. But sometimes they
Into
go
Catholicism?
They go in evangelist, from Catholicism, but from lazy Catholicism, they go hardcore evangelist.
Yeah. That's
There's-
just that's a
there's
lateral move
pockets
to
of
those
that.
giant churches that are just cults. Yeah.
Maybe, and it's like some Central California a beating heartbeat billboard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you know that where water flows, food grows? That's the other billboard. It's right next to the beating
I
heart
can't
one in
argue with that
Central.
though. I really can't.
Central
It makes
California, me neither.
100% sense to me.
It's yeah, my mother-in-law lives where Nunez's district.
Oh, God.
And she was like, "Isn't he a Democrat?" And I was like, "We have to talk
Wow.
more, Chris." And because
I can't contain my yawns.
I know.
I'm gonna die.
Don't
this
die.
Isn't good for me.
Well, this shouldn't be the episode. Unfortunately, how sad is it that Max Fun didn't get last episode as the great the Great Drive episode, right?
Sorry.
Oh, I did this last Sunday. I did do a different Max Fun. I did Can I Pet Your Dog?
Oh, yeah? Was
and I
it
got
fun?
to pet their dog.
Oh.
And I got to talk all about Axel. I got to talk about my stuffed dog as a child when I was a baby.
Your stepdog?
My stuffed dog.
Oh, okay.
And then I got to talk about all the imaginary dogs in my mind because I've never had a dog.
Are you gonna-
and the dog that I used to walk the neighbor's dog because I always wanted the dog and I couldn't have a dog. So I told the neighbors that I would walk their dog.
I miss not having it. That's the thing about comedy is there's just some stuff you can't have.
It's hard to have a dog.
It's really hard to have a dog, and if you do have a dog, it's got to be a little dog, and I like a nice big meaty dog that you can hang out with, and
Yeah.
you can't really have that unless you have a partner that's going to take care of it, and you know it's dinner is hard to have because you're getting ready to go to a show, so you don't have like a normal dinner with somebody all the time, and it
And
just
dogs
kind of
stare at your food.
oh I'm
that.
off dogs now. I just mean like with your
you-
family members.
Oh, you went with you did
I
a
don't
lateral
have
move.
dine with a dog. You think I missed that? No, that's
You
not what
miss
I'm
a
talking
dog
about.
staring at your lunch.
No, I'm
And
just
so-
saying like it's like this slash across a normal life, you know?
Oh, stand up?
yes.
Oh, it just ruins
the
it.
lifestyle.
It ruins everything and makes everything better at the same time. How does it do it?
We should live in a city where we don't have to go on the road. We should live in like Vegas or something like that. So you could kind of have a normal life, right?
Except for you'd live in Vegas.
I know.
That'd be the weird part. I could have stayed in Minnesota. I could have stayed in Minneapolis. It's a very lovely town.
Would you have made enough as a road comic to cover
Yeah.
your nut?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's a great because it's central. You know, you could do first of all the airport is a hub; it's a Delta hub, and second of all, you could do all the Dakotas. You can do all of the Chicago.
That
and,
covers all your rent, your mortgage for your entire life is the Dakotas?
you just went west. You should go east again. You know what's east? Other states. It turns out it's central. That's why it's a lot like Rocky Laporte moved back to Chicago, and he just works out of Chicago now.
Yeah.
Because I think his ex-wife took the kids, and he was like, I'm gonna go watch them grow up.
Right.
Standing
So he
next
was
to
living
them.
in Los Angeles?
Yeah, he was in L.A. Much like Chad Daniels, he moved back to more rural Minnesota.
Yeah, way
which is
more.
weird.
So
That's harder.
when his kids are grown, he won't be doing that anymore? Or do you know? Or
I don't know. I
because
haven't-
once they're grown, then you could live wherever you want, right?
well, eventually, except for that. I mean, that's true. That's true of anyone with kids. isn't
I
it?
know, but I mean, for
Yeah.
comics that give up a lot to live in a place with their kids and then
Oh,
they're
yeah.
grown, and you know,
Yeah, it's
Come back out
But
to
I think
LA or
like
New
Rocky
York?
had like development deals and stuff and acting
he
work.
did. Yeah.
And then he was just like, well, I guess I'm just going to go to Chicago and do road.
Did you read this article with Penelope Spheris? She's a director of The Decline of Western Civilization, like the punk movies and Wayne's World, etc. And it was a great article in the AV Club because she just basically got hounded out of directing. She's a great
wow.
director. And she ended up just being like, fuck this. I just don't want to deal with the wine scenes and all that shit.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so she made enough when she was directing. She bought properties.
Yep.
And she saved her money and she does what she wants now.
What does she want?
Nothing. I
And-
don't
and-
know. Just
right,
hanging
hopefully-
out with her man. Does she?
Oh, is she
So
doing
is she a
fine art?
painter?
Oh, that's cool.
I don't know the direct details, but I think she's in the art world.
So she's okay. Someone
She's
was
in the
just
art
talking
world a
about how
lot.
you don't have a mic, so I'm
Yeah.
just going to repeat that. If she's doing some fine art and she's in the art world, and to your knowledge, and she probably turned to that because it was because I'm sure the fine art world is full of a bunch of douchebags as well. But
I believe she's also like a doctor for a lot of projects. Like they bring stuff that's not working and she fixes it.
oh, like a
Like
consultant.
punch up, like movie punch up. But it's also she just said try being a woman in this business, then you try being an older woman. I'm like, oh fuck, oh no.
Right, but there's a certain point. I mean, I remember being a younger woman in this business and thinking, if I think about that all the time, like, what is it going to be like to be a woman in this business? What's
Right.
it like to be a younger, what's it, it's going to get in the way of the actual work.
Yes,
And
of
so,
course.
I mean, it's something we talk about a fair amount because it's real.
It's
but,
slightly terrifying.
well, it could be, but I choose not to be terrified.
Yeah, I know.
Isn't
I
that
know what
weird?
you mean. No, I think you're right.
It's but because the thing is all I can do is the work in front of me, right?
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean that I don't get driven mad by it, and
Right.
obviously end up losing my shit. at
Right,
some
right.
Stupid bastard
Who deserved it?
But
I always take your side.
you're totally on my side.
Anytime you attack somebody, it's their fault as far as I'm
Please,
concerned.
Andy Ashcraft disagrees. So he actually told me, he said, I'd really like if you didn't do it. You could tell it as a story, but please don't do it as a bit. Because if you start I was like, who wants 20 minutes on me pushing people?
My hand just was raised.
As did Kyle.
But it's a great premise that you start acting like the movie you just saw.
Right, well, I want to use that part.
Yes.
I told him I'll take it under advisement. and he said, well, it's not like I could forbid it. I mean, what's gonna, I was like, what a weird relationship. That'd be an entirely different relationship we would be in if you could.
I have a little line in this chunk I'm doing about my kid where I say I don't have another kid. I don't have a smart one waiting in the wings.
Right.
Now, I could see him objecting to that, but
Yeah.
it works. It helps sell everything else I'm trying to sell.
There's another way to put it.
Please,
Kyle,
you can't.
there is another way to.
Yes?
You two are monsters, and let you know in your heart that. Because the thing is you don't. The fact that I'm not saying that premise isn't hilarious, because it is. That you don't have another kid in the wings is super important, but you have to make it bigger than just a smart kid. Make it. You don't have an Einstein or a genius or something that he doesn't have to feel bad that he's getting an H. Whatever, right? Like, it's not that. So it has to be.
So if I just make it more than smart, way over the top.
Yeah, go a little bit bigger, and it won't.
Yeah, I'll try it.
Do what you can, and then you'll, who knows? You'll pay for his therapy. It'll be fine. You'll have, maybe that's what you'll hire instead of a babysitter. I feel like we're at an hour.
Literally as you said it. Oh, we got to do the closing thing now.
Oh my gosh! Let's do something super spontaneous, Laurie, where the word outro is written. Here it is.
Let's read it again.
Remember,
you've got until Friday, March 29th to start or upgrade your monthly membership.
Exclamation point.
Support our show by going to MaximumFun.org/donate now.
Exclamation point.
MaximumFun.org.
Comedy and culture.
Artist owned.
Audience supported.